6:49, this is a live look in downtown Minneapolis this morning where investigators are trying to figure out exactly why part of a ceiling collapsed at the historic First Avenue music venue. It happened last night, and cell phone video captured the collapse and some of the chaos that followed. Fire crews say a 30 by 30-foot section of ceiling came crashing down. 4 people hurt, 2 taken to the hospital in that incident. Hey, very good Thursday morning, everyone, and thank you so much for waking up with the Valley today. It's just coming up on 6:49 this morning. I'm Kyle Bosch. Lisa has the morning off, and we're just getting started with nonstop news and weather all the way up to the top of the hour. We do start with some breaking news that we are following for you this morning. Police have arrested a suspect in a Fargo stabbing who they considered armed and dangerous. 23-year-old Peter Palmer was on the loose after a stabbing around 9 last night. It happened on the 1400 block of 35th Street South, the parking lot of the Econo Lodge. The victim was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Police say that Palmer and the victim did know each other, but again, Palmer was arrested early this morning. Also breaking for you this morning, a man escaped serious injury after rolling his vehicle in Becker County. 21-year-old Juan Morales was traveling west on Highway 10 near Detroit Lakes when he swerved to avoid hitting a deer and overcorrected. His vehicle flipped over several times before finally coming to a stop in the oncoming lane. Again, Morales was hurt, but his injuries are not considered life-threatening. We're coming up on 6:51 now. Weather and traffic on the ones. Getting started with meteorologist Mick Kerr. And once again, those air conditioners going to be working hard today.
Humming along, heat and humidity, firing up some morning thunderstorms that are really populating southeastern North Dakota. Not showing up on the computer model. Heat is, though, upper 80s by this afternoon, and yes, some mid-90s, generally mid-90s. We're going to average out the 84 Ferguson, the 100 in Devil's Lake. Our computer model numbers are a little wacky, but we are seeing thunderstorms southeastern North Dakota this morning, west central Minnesota this afternoon, as temperatures will climb well into the low to mid-90s. Under a cloudy sky this morning, and we have some thunderstorms popping up in the Ransom Sargent and Lemoore and Dickey County, right on the west edge of Ransom County. A lot of lightning and some small hail with these coming down. Got no lightning just west of Lisbon, but east of Lemoore, north of Oaks. Got a fair amount of lightning. These storms are moving to the east-northeast. Out there in south of Carrington, north of northern part of Stutzman County, north of Jamestown, around Woodworth. Also, a little small hail being detected also around Harvey. So these are just some morning pop-up thunderstorms that are happening here in the early hours. These should be done by about 9:30 at the latest. However, just be advised there's a lot of lightning out there. Your morning tea time with that metal golf club might be questionable out there at the north of Jamestown. Our wind is out of the southeast, about under 10 miles an hour, and there are your morning temperatures. Warm and muggy, and 65 Grand Forks, East Grand Forks, 71 in Fargo-Moorhead. Time for a traffic update from Al Ahmed.
Good morning, Mick. Good morning, everyone. I'm out on the interstate this morning. Interstate 94 traffic is pretty darn thick, particularly westbound. So is that on northbound Interstate 29. Reminder for you, on northbound Interstate 29, we have a stalled car right around the 7th Avenue overpass. But the major traffic story today is, again, going to be on South University Drive. The deal is that the areas that were being worked on yesterday are now the lanes that you're going to be driving on today. In other words, if you're on South University Drive, north or southbound, we still only have one lane, but you will be driving on the outside lanes in each case, and we lose the turning lanes. So I expect to see a lot more congestion down here on South University Drive today than we've had all week long. I think it's going to be a mess, and it's already shaping up that way. That's where I am right now. Al Ahmed Valley Today traffic.
6:53 as we turn back to your news headlines. And new for you this morning, a man is in jail after a burglary at CVS Pharmacy in Grand Forks early today. Police say they responded to the pharmacy and found damage to the building and a man in the area acting suspiciously. He then ran off when officers approached him, but they were able to catch up and arrest him soon after. 23-year-old Thomas Brook from Grand Forks has been charged with burglary, criminal mischief, and fleeing on foot. Police are also asking people in the area of that CVS to check their belongings because Brook may have been involved in other criminal activity. A brother and sister being treated for serious injuries after a tram along the St. Croix River in western Wisconsin near the Twin Cities malfunctioned. The 9-year-old girl and her 21-year-old brother fell 15 feet yesterday afternoon. The private tram is on private property, and it's used to take people from on top of a bluff down to the river. Rescuers had to use boats to reach the man and girl. They were then airlifted to Regents Hospital in the Twin Cities. A Minneapolis man is now charged with leaving an explosive inside a busy building at the University of Minnesota. 35-year-old Jason Johnson charged yesterday with making terroristic threats and planting an explosive with intent to injure or damage. An employee discovered a suspicious bag at Kaufman Memorial Union Sunday that smelled of gasoline. The Minneapolis bomb squad checked it out and found it contained bundled smoke flares, towels soaked in accelerant, and a lighter. Police had to shut down the area most of the day on Monday while they searched the building for additional packages after video surveillance showed Johnson had a second bag. A large gathering is expected today at the funeral of an Army veteran from the Valley who committed suicide. Brady Oberg grew up in Ulen, Minnesota, and served in the 10th Mountain Division in Afghanistan. During his 4 years, he saw some of the worst of the war, including the shoot-down of a Chinook helicopter that killed all 38 on board. A friend says Oberg returned from the war troubled and took his life on August 6th. Friends are remembering him as a joyful guy with a big heart who made everybody happy.
He was a friend to anybody who needed it, which is part of what makes it so hard, because I think we all would have liked to have done the same for him.
Oberg's funeral is today at 11 a.m. in Glendon. Well, a North Dakota town is headed back to the Wild West this weekend. Going to be filled up with plenty of cowboys and cowgirls, maybe even some cow kids. Hundreds of people are turning out for the annual Cowboy Up event in McLeod, North Dakota. And that is where we find Valley News Team's Macy Enger live this morning with how this great event supports the fight against cancer. Macy?
Yeah, good morning, Kyle. Power Stroke and I become good friends out here. So we're back on the horses, and Lori is out with me again. She's from the planning committee. So Lori, if a family wants to come out here and enjoy the activities, what do they need to know?
At 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. on Friday, we have a trail ride, then an extreme race at 2 p.m. for them to come out and watch, a ranch rodeo at 6, and we have a live band Friday evening. Saturday, our events kick off at 10 a.m. with the trail ride. For things in town, we have bingo, silent auction, a softball tournament, kids carnival. At 4 p.m., we have a horse auction, and then we have our awesome pitchfork fondue. And then that evening, we have a band as well. So lots and lots and lots of activities.
And again, this all benefits people fighting cancer.
Yes, all the proceeds stay local. They go to the Roger Maris Cancer Center. Everyone on the committee are volunteers, and it's just an awesome, awesome event. This year, the committee has chosen the color gold, which represents pediatric or childhood cancer.
And Kyle, I think Power Stroke might come home with me maybe, so.
Not bad. That'd be a lot of fun. It looks like you guys are really getting along. Macy Enger, again, reporting live this morning, McLeod, North Dakota, where they're getting ready for the big Cowboy Up event this weekend. Well, Americans love their cars, and that is evident by the record amount of money they are borrowing to have them. Near record high auto sales, rising prices on new vehicles, and low interest rates have combined to help Americans take out almost $1 trillion worth of auto loans. Experian Automotive says Americans borrowed a record amount of loans from April through June. That's brought totals this year, totals in auto loans, $932 billion. U.S. auto sales are on pace to total more than 17 million vehicles sold on average per month this year. Well, let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question, the average person has 4 of these at home. And the answer this morning, 4 toothbrushes.
Ones you haven't used yet, or ones you have used?
Maybe, yeah, I don't know, but probably a little combo, because you always have, I know I have, you have the one that you're using, and a lot of times you've got a couple from the dentist that are in a drawer somewhere. And
and then the one that you want to use,
the travel one, and
scrub the faucet with.
Yeah, I suppose you got to combine all of those together. Today a day to really be careful outside, it sounds like.
Already this morning, because we have some lightning and thunder to show you on the radar, and we'll do that after we give you a planner for cloudy, warm, muggy start near 70 and on the way to mid-80s midday, hot and muggy. Heat will be building. The heat index will be high, and isolated thunderstorms will happen with about 94 this afternoon. We do have a line of thunderstorms starting in northern Sargent, southern Ransom County, southern Barnes, south of Valley City, and Jamestown northwestward all the way to Minot. Some rumbles of thunder. So you've got a morning tea time out there. Watch out, because you got a lightning rod in your hand.
That's a look at weather. But of course, we have more news and weather coming up in just about 25 minutes. Have a great Thursday, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow morning.